Okay, so we are going to start on our backs in constructive rest. So take a second to find your way down to the ground. And then as you come on down, step your feet to a nice wide distance, a distance that feels good to you. Allow your knees to drop in towards each other. And then just let your hands fall wherever feels the most comfortable. Rearrange your shoulders, rearrange your back, make sure everything feels good. And give your body and your mind a moment more just to come to your mat, to quiet down just a little bit. And then as you start to find that quieter, softer position of your body and your mind, tune in real quick and notice if there's any parts of your body that took a little bit longer to get there or need a little rearranging. And if there's anything that needs to be rearranged, take a second to do it. And then come back to that soft stillness. And then see if you can tune into your shoulders or the round tops of your shoulders and just kind of tune in. And even if you can, open your eyes and just kind of see your tops of your shoulders through your peripheral vision. And then if your shoulders feel like they're kind of caught upward or rounding up towards the ceiling, can you snuggle your shoulder blades in so that your shoulder heads can soften down just a little bit further, creating just a little bit of extra opening through the collarbones and the front of your chest? Take one more moment here just to allow your body that little extra time to settle in. And then we're going to start with a little focus on the breath. So if your hands are out at your sides, but you like to feel the breath with your hands, bring your hands to the belly and then just spread your fingers nice and wide so you get a lot of surface area covered. And then just a nice soft position of the hands. And we'll start by drawing the belly deep, or draw the breath deep into the belly. So take a nice full breath and just allow your belly to inflate. And then exhale nice and slow. Inhale a nice full breath, let your belly inflate. Exhale nice and slow, but as you exhale, think about drawing the belly button in just a little bit firmer so you feel that gentle tug at the pelvic floor. And if you can't feel that gentle tug at the pelvic floor, take an extra moment or a little extra squeeze of the abdominal muscles to see if you can tune in and notice that sensation. And then once you feel like you found it, inhale a nice full breath, fill your belly up. Exhale, draw the abdominal muscles in just slightly so you feel that little tug from the pelvic floor. And then when you feel it, inhale, fill back up again. Exhale, nice and slow. And now we're going to draw that concentration of breath just a little bit deeper. So as you inhale, fill your belly up and then fill up the lungs or fill up your ribs. Exhale, squeeze your ribs in, draw the belly in, feel that little tug at the pelvic floor. Inhale to the belly and then up into the ribs. Exhale from the ribs to the belly, and then see if you can find that little squeeze right at the bottom. One more breath here. Inhale, fill up your belly, fill up your ribs. Exhale from your ribs to your belly. Nice, and then we're going to go a little further with the breath. So inhale, fill up the belly to the ribs, to the collarbones. Exhale from your collarbones to your ribs, to your belly. Let all of that air go and see if you can find that little tug that pulls up from the pelvic floor. And then once you found it, right away, inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the ribs all the way up to the collarbones. Exhale from the collarbones to the ribs to the belly. Beautiful. And now we're going to add the retention of breath. So inhale, fill the belly up, fill up the ribs all the way up to the collarbones. Hold the breath at the top. And then when you're ready, exhale, collarbones to the ribs to the belly. Let all of that air go. Hold the breath at the bottom. So feel that little gentle tug at the pelvic floor. Pause there, hold that. And then when you're ready, fill back up. Inhale, fill up the belly, the ribs to the collarbones. Hold your breath at the top. Exhale from the collarbones to the ribs to the belly. Let all of that air go. Feel that little squeeze coming up from the pelvic floor. Pause there. Hold that retention of breath. And then when you feel ready, one more time, inhale, fill up the belly to the ribs to the collarbones. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale from the collarbones to the ribs to the belly. Let all of that air go. Hold that breath. And then when you're ready, come back to your natural inhale and just find that natural rhythm of breath again. Give everything a second. Let your belly chill out. Let your shoulders relax. Awesome. And then when you feel ready, bring your arms into cactus or gold pose position, and then start just a little gentle turn of the head side to side. One more turn of your head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center with the arms in cactus or gold pose, we're going to try to keep the backs of the hands connected to the floor best you can. And then slide your hands up like you're taking that big good morning stretch with just the top part of the body. And then pull the elbows back down in line with the shoulders. And now add the breath with that. Inhale as you reach your arms up and overhead, stretch through the top half of the body. And then exhale, pull the elbows back down in line with the shoulders. Inhale, slide your hands up, get that nice little bit of reach. Exhale to pull the elbows back down. And then we'll do that one more time. Inhale, slide your hands up, get that nice bit of reach. Exhale, pull the elbows down along in line with the shoulders, and then bring it into our I Dream of Genie arms. So in that little square across the chest, and then right away, start to pull the elbows gently side to side. So you're pulling slightly across the midline of the body. And then as you're here, kind of tune in and notice the shoulder blades and the thoracic spine or that middle back area connected to the floor. And you might feel a little bit of gentle movement in the back side of the body. Keep your hips nice and heavy. Take one more pull side to side. And then we're going to add the knees as well. So as your elbows pull in one direction, knees are going to drop in the opposite direction, meet in the middle, and then switch. And then find a just nice fluid rhythm here. Knees drop in one direction, elbows go the other way. One more pull each side, and then we're going to release our arms back to goalpost arms, but keep your knees dropping side to side. Cool. And then the next time your knees drop over to the right, let them sink all the way down. Let the knees get nice and heavy. Tune in and notice that left front hip pocket area, or where your front pocket would be. Take a nice big breath into that space. Nice slow breath out. Inhale, knees to center, and then exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Let your knees get nice and heavy, and then see if you can tune into that front right pocket area, and then take a nice big breath into that space. Awesome. On your next inhale, knees are going to come to center. We're going to toe heel the feet in a little bit closer, so feet are about hip width distance apart, and then bring your hands down alongside your hips. We're going to move right into a pelvic tilt. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground, curl the tailbone up, and then inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. One more just like that. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. Beautiful. And now we're going to take it into some hip bridges. Inhale, lift your hips up nice and high and think hip hinge. So rather than rolling down from the spine, think hip hinge and just bring your butt down with as long of a spine as you can. And then once you're down, take a breath. Nice slow breath out, push into your feet. And on your next inhale, lift up, just squeeze those glutes right at the top and then think hip hinge. Bring your butt back down to the ground. Beautiful. And now we'll add the breath here. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, hip hinge, lower your butt down. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hip hinge, lower back down. Awesome. 1 more time here. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and lower down. Beautiful. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. Maybe a gentle rock side to side. And then as you rock side to side here, just take a second to tune in and notice, how does your low back feel? How do your glutes feel? Take 1 more little rock side to side. And then we're going to hold onto the right knee, let your left leg go nice and long. And then we're going to anchor into that left leg. So a little flex in the left foot, heel is gently pushing down into the ground. And then once you feel that heel pushing down into the ground, now push your right knee into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Heel pushes down, knee pushes up into your hands. Take 1 good breath. And then when you're ready, soften your heel, soften your knee, and then pull that left knee into your chest. Give a light little squeeze. Hold on to your left knee, send your right leg nice and long. When your heel finds the ground, push down into that heel. You might feel your hamstrings or the back of the leg fire up just a little bit. Push your heel down, push your knee up into your hands. So we're getting that little bit of extra work. Push the heel down, push the knee up. Hands are going to help resist. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale and soften, pull the right knee back in, give a light little squeeze. And then we're going to set the feet down and move into Bananasana. So we're going to push into our feet, shift your hips over to the right side of your mat, walk your feet down to the left bottom corner of your mat. So we're going to start to make a little side bend or side crescent shape with the body. So hips are over to the right, feet are over to the left. And then can you reach your hands up to the top left corner of the mat? And then if it feels good and you want just that little extra stretch, you're going to grab hold of the right wrist and gently pull it towards the top left corner of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more breaths here. If you're holding on to that wrist, go ahead and release it. Soften up the side body, slide your feet in, shift your hips back to center, rearrange everything that you need to, and then we're going to take that Bananasana to the other side. So push into your feet, shift your hips over to the left side of your mat, walk your feet to the right corner of your mat, and then once you've got your bottom half arranged, reach your hands up to the top right corner of your mat. And then if you want that little extra bit of sensation, you're going to grab that left wrist and gently pull it towards the corner of the mat. And then once you've got that side bend, take a nice set of breaths. Inhale nice and deep, feel that left side body. Exhale nice and slow. 2 more cycles of breath here. Beautiful. If you're holding onto your wrist, go ahead and soften, release. Slide the feet in, shift your hips back to center, and then pull both knees into your chest with the hands on top of the knees or on top of the shins. Push your knees into your hands like you're pushing them up towards the ceiling. Arms are going to help resist. Notice your quadricep muscles, your glute muscles, your back muscles might be firing up and your arms are strong, helping resist. Take 1 more moment here. Take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, soften, gently pull the knees into your chest and then release your handhold. And we're going to start to find a little rock and roll. So grab the backs of your thighs, take a few good rocks and rolls, working the length of the spine. And then we're going to come up into a little supported boat. So we're going to find a little balance. Beautiful. Lift up through the crown of your head. And then once you feel like you've got a little bit of balance, just release your right hand. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Re-grab the back of the right thigh, release your left hand. Nice. Re-grab the back of the thigh, reset anything that you need to. And then if you can, release both hands. And then from here, we're going to move into Sukhasana or easy seat. So if you can, crisscross your feet, lift up into your easy seat, and then take a second to just rearrange your sits bones. And then once you're there, right hand's gonna touch down to the ground, left hand's gonna reach up, take a nice gentle side bend. Beautiful, lift up, left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, take a side bend the other way. Nice, lift up and then take it into a seated twist. Left hand's gonna find the right knee, right hand behind you, and then think about getting nice and tall here. Awesome, now we're gonna stay twisted to the right, but soften the position. So aim your heart towards your knee, and then once you've got that softer position, take 3 cat-cow breaths here. Inhale, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back and tuck your chin in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Find a neutral spine, release, and take your twist over to the other side. Catch hold of your knee. Left hand comes behind you. Think about getting nice and tall here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, keeping that twist to the left, but softening up a little bit so heart is aimed towards the knee, and then move into that cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin in. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to round. One more breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale up to neutral spine, return to center, and then take 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, round your back. Beautiful. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more breath here. And then find a nice tall neutral spine. Drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Let your shoulders get soft and heavy. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Lift your head up to center, and then when you're ready, drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. Let your shoulders get soft and heavy. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. Lift your head back to center, and now we're going to turn. Look over the right shoulder. So just the head is going to turn, and think of this as more of an active position. So rather than a stretch, it's a little bit of a strengthening. So we're turning the head and then holding that position. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, release, turn to center, and then over to the other side. And then again, think of this as more of an active turn of the head, using the strength in the neck muscles. Take one more moment. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, return your head to center and take it into an easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself out to a depth that feels good to you. Think about a nice long spine. And if you like, reach your arms nice and long. Create a little space through the front of the body, wiggle out your ribs, do any bit of movement here that might feel good. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to find a little strength here. So if your arms aren't reach out, reach your arms, let your fingers find the floor. And then we're going to press into the fingers, pull the abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers, pull the ribs back nice and strong from that navel center, and then lift up to a nice tall spine. And we're going to practice our Uddiyana Bandha here. In a seated position, it can be a little bit more challenging to find. So don't worry if it's not there for you. It's one of those moves that we tend to do in a tabletop or in that standing position, but where we get that vacuum sucked belly. So take a moment to just rearrange, make sure you feel like you're in a good and comfortable seat. And then if you like, bring one hand to the belly just for a moment. Take a nice full inhale, fill your belly up. Exhale. And at the end of the exhale, can you suck the abdominal muscles in? Hold that sucked in belly for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the muscles first and then take your inhalation. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in. Hold that sucked in belly for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the muscles first and then take your inhale. And we'll do that one more time. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck it in. Hold it for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the muscles first and then take your inhale. Awesome. Release your hand. And then when you're ready, we're going to flip it up into a tabletop position. So come into all fours in any way that works good for you. And then just take a second to check in. Fix up your clothes. Make sure your knees feel comfortable. If you need that little bit of cushion, set yourself up. And then once you find your way into that tabletop position, curl both sets of toes under. We're going to just take a few gentle rocks forward and back. Bring your butt back towards your heels, and then bring your shoulders back in line with the wrists. Beautiful. Now, the next time you pull your butt back towards your heels, stay there, push into your palms, actively push your bum back towards your heels so you get a little bit more of a firm press into the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Take a nice big breath. Notice how your toes and your feet feel. And you might choose to stay here or lighten up, but if it feels really good and you want that extra big stretch, you're going to walk your hands back up and then sit back on your heels. Take 3 cycles of breath if you can stand it. Just soften your hands wherever feels the most comfortable. Soften your shoulders. Notice your toes, notice your feet. And then there's somewhere in between. So if you're sitting back on your heels and that's a little much, you can always lift your butt up a little bit so you can find that in between space if it's there. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back into that tabletop position, release your toes, maybe wiggle out your feet just a second. And then when you're ready, move right into puppy pose. Relax your feet down, walk your hands to the top edge of your mat, keep your hips fairly in line with your knees, let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. On your next inhale, walk yourself back up to tabletop position, and then we're going to thread the needle. So right hand's going to reach up nice and high, create a little space, and then right away, thread that hand through and underneath, right ear, right shoulder to the ground. And then whatever variation you like with the left hand. So you might choose to reach it up to the top of the mat, reach it up to the sky, reach it behind you for a little half bind. So whatever feels good to you. And then once you found it, take one big cycle of breath. Big giant inhale. Nice slow exhale. Wherever that left hand is, go ahead and release it. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Pause for a moment. Take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up nice and high. Create a little space. Thread that hand through left ear, left shoulder to the ground. And then rearrange your right hand in any way you like. You might choose to reach it to the top of your mat, reach it up to the sky, or tuck it behind you. And then once you've got your hand in a position you like, take a nice full inhale. Nice slow exhale. Beautiful. And then release that right hand down. Press your way back up to a tabletop position. Take one cat-cow here just to reset the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale, neutral spine, and we're going to move right into spinal balance. So left hand, right leg are going to slide back, firm up your belly, lift the limbs up, reach through the fingertips, reach through the heel, reach through the crown of your head. Nice and stable. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And then with control, gently lower it down. Take a second to reset. And then when you're ready, slide the left leg back, right hand forward. And then if it feels good, firm up your belly, lift up, reach through the heel, reach through the fingers, reach through the crown of your head. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release it down nice and slow. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels, belly, chest, and forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. On your next inhale, lift up to tabletop position. We're going to keep the knees nice and wide, swing the toes out to meet, and then walk your hands to the outer edges of your mat. We're going to take a wide down dog. Curl your toes under, exhale, lift up into that wide down dog shape. Let your heart melt towards your thighs. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to externally rotate the feet just a little bit. So step your feet out. So toes are off the edges of your mat, soften your knees. And now we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. So come to a little bit of a wide fold and then bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position into 5-pointed star, extend the arms up, and then think about a lift of energy, lift from the soles of the feet, up the side body, up the sides of your arms, brighten everything up, reach it up through the fingertips, take one good breath. And then we'll sink into a goddess squat. So make sure your legs feel nicely arranged, sink the butt down, keep those inner thighs nice and active so legs are super strong. And then think about pulling the elbows back slightly, a little tiny squeeze in the shoulder blades, gaze forward, take a nice big breath. Awesome. Hands are going to come behind the head. And then we're going to think about pushing the head into the hands. Hands are going to create a little resistance. And then we're going to add a little side bend here. So you're going to reach right elbow towards the right knee. Keep that little gentle press in the back of the head and then come back to center. Exhale, lean over to the left. Inhale, bring it back to center. Beautiful. Exhale over to the right. Inhale and bring it back up. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, bring it back up. Nice. One more time each side. Exhale over to the right. Inhale it up. Exhale over to the left. Inhale it up, release your hands to your knees, and we're going to move right into a twist from here. So left shoulder towards the right knee. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale it to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, and then we're going to rise up, lift your butt up, and then pivot your feet just so that you have a little bit of space and your feet feel nice and even on the ground. And then we're going to take it into some wood choppers. So we're going to start with that little Charlie's Angel mudra, interlace the fingers, pointers up, reach the arms up and overhead just to check your space. And then a little soft bend to the knees, reach down, let your arms swing through, and then just feel where your space is. And then we're going to pick up the pace with that. Inhale it up, exhale, throw the hands through. Inhale it up. Exhale, throw the hands through. Take a few more cycles of breath here and just find your breath's rhythm. Find a pace that works good for you. Beautiful. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then as you come back up, reach your arms up and overhead, unlace your fingers, let your arms float down, pause just for a moment. Notice that energy running through your body, wriggle out your shoulders, wiggle out your fingers, and we're gonna take it back into a fold. So soften your knees, hinge from your waist, bring your hands down to the ground. We're gonna walk it forward into our down dog. So walk your hands forward, walk your feet in, and then once you find your down dog, take a few pedals of the legs, bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Awesome. One more pedal of each leg. And then when you're ready, soften your knees, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a little ragdoll fold at the top of the mat, feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in the knees, make a little space for your belly and your chest, let your head hang nice and heavy. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up nice and slow. Take your time as you come up. And then as you come up, roll your shoulders down and back, and then just give yourself a second, get yourself fixed up at the front end of your mat. And then we're going to take it into the right arm. So we're going to get that nice vigorous shake going. So we're just going to give a good shake of that right arm. Take a moment to notice the wiggling of your skin, that movement in your hand. Make sure it's a comfortable position. So if you're shaking too hard and something hurts, dial it back just a little bit. Take one more good shake of that arm, and then we're going to take the right arm, bring it across the body, grab the back of the arm, drop the shoulder down. Once you've got that position, 3 nods of the head. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. One more breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tuck down. Inhale, head comes to neutral, release that arm, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to give that left arm a good shake. Take a second to notice that movement of skin, the movement of muscle, the movement down in your hand and your wrist. Maybe even notice that vibration up in your shoulder and in your breath. Beautiful. One more good shake, and then bring that arm across the body. Grab the back of the arm, drop the shoulder down. And then once you've got that handhold, come back to that head movement. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to tuck down. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck down. Head comes to neutral, release that arm and let both hands come down at your sides. Now we're going to move down to the toes and the feet. Inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can. Exhale, float your toes back down, but keep them spread nice and wide. Inhale, lift your toes, spread them as wide as you can. Exhale, float the toes down, but keep them nice and wide. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up and spread. Exhale, float them down. Keep that nice spread of the toes on the floor. Move right into your heels. Inhale, lift your heels up just as high as you can control. Exhale, float your heels back down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and lower down. One more time here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down, and then just look down at your feet. And if you feel like you need to rearrange for your mountain pose, take a second to step your feet into a distance that feels good to you, toes and knees pointing fairly forward, and then root into your feet. Reach up through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders soften down, and then bring just a little energy down into your fingertips. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Keeping the heels lifted, we're gonna pull the butt back towards the heels, like we're gonna take a hovering child's pose. So the knees are gonna stay lifted off the ground. Pull your butt back to your heels, beautiful. And then lift your butt back into that downward facing dog. And then we'll do that again. Bend your knees, heels are gonna lift. Keep the knees hovering, bring your butt back toward your heels. Awesome. Lift back up into that down dog. Do that one more time. Bend your knees, bring your butt back toward your heels. Beautiful. Lift up, and then we're going to take it into a three-legged dog. Right leg is going to lift up. Keep your hips square. Keep your shoulders square. Gaze down. Take a nice big breath. Release that foot back down to the ground. Take it to the other side. Left leg is going to lift up. Hips stay square. Shoulders stay square. Beautiful. Release that foot down. Soften your knees. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Press your palms together. Lift your heels up away from the floor. Lower your heels down. Interlace your fingers. Flip the palms. Press them forward. Draw the shoulders down. Firm up your belly. Take one good breath. Soften your elbows. Bring the arms up and overhead. Create some space for your shoulder blades. And then once you're there, push the palms up towards the ceiling. Take one good breath. Beautiful. Unlace your fingers. Float your hands down. Roll your shoulders down and back. Come back to your mountain pose. Gaze forward. Pause for a moment. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you, whatever feels good. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Awesome. And then once you're there, just for a moment, find that nice energetic lift. So think about pulling or pressing into the big toe. So we lift from the soles of the feet like you're pulling the big toe back towards the heel. Get that nice lift from the soles of the feet and then lift that energy up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips. Almost as if somebody's trying to pull your arms in opposite directions. Get that nice long reach. Gaze forward. Take one good breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to move right into triangle pose. Straighten that front leg. Pop the back hip out. Reach long through the torso. You might stop at the thigh. You might stop at the shin, the big toe, or the floor. Or if you like to use your block, place your block there. And then once you found it, those bottom ribs are going to draw forward. Top arm is going to reach up. Maybe you look up, maybe you look forward, maybe down towards the ground, just whatever feels the most comfortable to your head. Once you're there, take a moment, nice and solid, nice and strong. See if you can find that lift of energy coming up the soles of the feet, all the way up through that top hand. Take one more breath. Beautiful, nice strong legs, strong side body. Lift up, reverse your triangle, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. And then we're gonna cartwheel the hands down to the ground, bend that front knee as you pivot your back heel through your runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to a plank. Right away, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug elbows into ribs, lower onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Either push up to a table or power up to a plank, and then find your way up to down dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog, and then if it feels good, you'll bend that knee, let the hip roll open, take one nice big breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to step that right foot up to the top right corner of your mat. So to the outside of your pinky finger. So it's a nice wide position. And then once you're there, left hand's going to stay down to the ground. Right hand's going to reach up, look to the sky, take one good breath. Release that right hand down. We're going to turn the right toes down out just to make a little space. And we're going to hop that left foot up to the top left corner of the mat. So we're going to take it into that nice wide squat position. Sink your butt down. Just take one good breath. And then right away, lift your butt up, toe heel your feet into about hip width distance apart, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, let your left hand pick you up. And then see if you can find that energetic lift again. So think push into the big toe, pull the big toe back towards the heel, lift the soles of the feet, lift that energy up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips. And then like somebody's pulling your hands away from each other, reach that energy out nice and long. Gaze forward, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then we move right into our triangle. Straighten that front leg, pop the back hip out, reach long through the torso. You might stop at the thigh, maybe the shin, the big toe, your block, or the floor. Think about pulling those bottom ribs forward. Top hand extends up. And then once you feel like you're there, can you find that energetic lift again? Lift from the soles of your feet, lift it up the legs, lift up through the ribs, up through that top hand. Take a nice big breath. Strong in your legs, strong in your side body. Lift up, reverse your triangle. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, maybe look up. Beautiful. And then spin the hands down to the ground, come through your runner's lunge. Awesome. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs. And now we're going to take it into half locust. So take a second, wiggle out your butt. And then if it feels good, you're going to tuck your fingers under those hip points. Take a second to find your way there. Give your heels a little soft shake. We want to create a little softness in the glute muscles so that the thigh bones are soft in the hip socket. And then once you found a little bit of softness, reach through your right toes. Pull the right toes away from you. Pull them so far to the end of your mat and then start to lengthen and lift up. Beautiful. Lengthen and lower down. Once you touch down, give it a little shake. Shake out your heels, wiggle out your bum. And then we'll take it to the other side. Reach through the left toes. Pull those toes away from you. Pull them so far that you lengthen as you lift up. Beautiful. Lengthen and lower down. And then once you touch down, give your heels a little shake. We're going to release the hands from under the hip points, bring them alongside the shoulders, bend both knees, give a little swish of the heels side to side. Feel that little massage of the quadricep muscles. One more little rock side to side. And then float those toes down. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Your choice. Power up to a plank or take it into tabletop position. And then find your way up to downward facing dog. Left leg is going to come up into that three-legged dog. And then if you like, you'll bend the knee, let the hip roll open, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to step that left foot up to the top left corner of the mat. So that nice wide lunge position. Once you've got your way there, right hand's going to stay on the ground. Left hand's gonna reach up nice and high. Beautiful, bring that left hand down, turn your left toes out just to create a little space. And then we hop that back foot up into that wide position, lower your butt down, take one good breath. And then right away, lift your butt up, toe heel your feet into about hip width distance apart, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders down and back. Shift your weight onto your left foot, pick your right knee up, just see where your balance is at right now. Set that foot down, shift your weight onto your right foot, pick your left knee up and see where your balance is at on this side. Nice, set that foot down, take a moment to reset in your mountain pose, reaching up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that right foot up to the top right corner of your mat, so to the outside of the pinky finger. And then if you like, drop that back knee down, release your back toes. And then with this wider position, like we're doing half splits, but we're gonna try to keep the toes on the ground. So as you pull your butt back, reach through your toes. So you might feel a little stretch through the top of the foot and the ankle, and then bring yourself forward, lift your heart. Draw your hips back, keep reaching through the toes. Beautiful, bring your heart forward. One more time, just like that. Pull the butt back, but reach through the toes. Bring yourself forward, and now we're gonna sink a little bit deeper into this position. So left hand's gonna stay on the ground, right hand to the knee. Push your knee gently open, draw your right shoulder back, look over your shoulder, take a nice big breath. Awesome, when you're ready, return that right hand to the ground, tuck the back toes under. We're gonna pick the back knee up and then see if you can kick that front leg up into three-legged dog. Lovely, set that foot down. We're gonna take it to the other side. Left leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Beautiful, and then step that left foot up to the top left corner of the mat. Nice, bring the back knee down, release the back toes, keep the toes on the ground, pull your butt back, reach through that back leg, or reach through that front leg, excuse me, bend and bring it forward, lift your heart. Draw it back, reach through the toes, and then bring it forward. Beautiful, draw the butt back and bring it forward. Nice, and then keep your right hand on the ground, left hand to that knee, push the knee gently open, draw the left shoulder back, look over the shoulder, take a nice big breath. Awesome, bring it back in with control, curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up, and then see, can you step that left foot up to three-legged dog? Beautiful, set that foot down. We're gonna pick up the heels, lower the knees, come into tabletop, move right into gate pose. Right leg is gonna step out nice and wide, hands to your hips, come to a nice high kneel. Right hand on the thigh, left hand reaches up, take a nice big side bend. And then we're gonna take that left hand, circle it all the way around. So our hands are gonna find a tabletop position, and then we're gonna draw the butt back to the heels, but keep that leg out nice and wide. Go only as far as feels safe for your knee, and then push into the tops of the toes, the top of the shin. Lift yourself right up, slide that right leg in, switch over to the other side. Left leg reaches out nice and wide. Hands to the hips, come to that high kneel. Left hand on the thigh, right hand reaches up, lean over to the left. Beautiful, and then we're gonna circle those hands around so we find our hands in that tabletop position. Left leg stays out wide. Pull your butt back to your heel, just as far as feels safe to that knee. Beautiful, and then lift it right back up. Slide that left leg in, curl both sets of toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. We're gonna come to forward fold at the top of the mat, but we're gonna start to find our way down to the ground. We're gonna start by finding Malasana, that nice low squat. So if you like, step your feet out to the outer edges of your mat, let your toes turn out, sink your butt down just as far as it likes to go, and then be a little bit soft and loose in this position, because we're gonna start to walk the feet together just a little bit. So if you can, walk your feet in. You're gonna start to find the toes and the balls of the feet. So your heels are probably gonna lift, but we're gonna keep that nice wide froggy position. And I'm gonna turn sideways just so you can see what I've got going on. So we're gonna try to walk those feet together. As close as you can get your feet to go. And no worries, we're all going to have subtle variations there, but the legs are externally rotated, toes and the balls of the feet are on the ground. Once you've got that, if you can find a little balance, you're going to lift your hands away from the floor, lift your chest, prayer hands to heart center, and then pause there for a moment. Notice the strength in your feet. Notice that strength in your center and your side body to help keep you in this nice lifted position. Take one more breath. And then we're going to set our butt down, come right into cobbler's pose or Baddha Konasana. So you're going to just settle your butt back, bring the soles of the feet together, take a second to rearrange. And then once you're there, nice lifted chest, nice long spine, lean your heart forward just to a point that feels like a good sensation to you. So you might feel sensation in the inner thigh and groin or on the outer edge of your hip. So just tune in and notice. And then once you've got a good sensation, no zinging in the back, no zinging in the butt, soften just a little bit. Take a nice full breath in. Nice slow breath out. Take one more breath. And then lift up through the crown of your head. Let your heart follow. We're going to try to keep our legs in that butterfly position, and we're going to start to bring ourselves down to the ground. So if you like, come back, elbows and forearms. Take a second, make sure your tailbone feels good about all of that. And then when you're ready, lower yourself all the way down. Once you're down, take a second to just rearrange, make sure everything feels good. We're going to take it into some butterfly bridges. So we want to keep the soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. And we're going to bring our elbows down to the ground, fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. We want to just use our elbows for a little bit of leverage. So think about pressing your feet together, press into your feet. And when you're ready, lift your hips up, squeeze your glutes. As you exhale, lower back down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more time here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Help your knees come together, draw them into your chest, a light little squeeze. And then we're going to move right into a figure four. So set your left foot down, right leg comes across the left, 3 times hands free to start. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, float that foot back down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower down. And then if it feels good, you're going to lift up, thread the hands through, grab hold of the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, gently draw it in, keep a light little flex in that right foot so your right foot feels sturdy. Take one more good breath. And then we're going to release our hand hold, but keep that figure four shape. Touch your left foot down. Right leg is going to stay across the left, and we're going to drop the legs over to the left. So that right foot is going to touch down on the left side. And then once you're there, if it feels good, left hand's going to find that right inner thigh, and you're just going to gently press your hand into the inner thigh. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. If your hand is on the inner thigh, go ahead and release it. Float those legs back to center. Step your right foot off and step the left leg across. Come back to that figure four shape to the other side, 3 times hands free. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time, hands free. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. And then if it feels good, you're going to lift up, thread the hands through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, draw it into your comfort level, and maybe keep a little bit of firmness in that left foot. When you're ready, slowly release your handhold, but keep the left leg across the right. Let your right foot touch down. And now we're going to take that left foot over to the right. So you're going to bring it down nice and slow and controlled. And then once you've got that foot down on the ground, if it feels good, right hand's going to find that left inner thigh and gently push into the inner thigh. Awesome. Release your hand from the inner thigh. Float those legs back up to center. Step the left leg up. We're going to move right into supine twist. Pull the right knee into your chest. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Bring that right knee over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Take one cycle of breath here. Inhale as you bring that knee to center. Pull the left knee into meet and then hold on to your left knee. Send your right leg long. Supine twist to the other side. Take that left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens wide. One cycle of breath here. Beautiful. Pull that left knee back into your chest. Bring the right knee into meet. And now we're going to come back to our banana nasana. So set your feet down onto the ground. Pick up your hips. Shift your hips over to the right edge of your mat. Walk your walk your legs nice and long to the left corner of your mat. And then once you've got that figured out, reach your hands up to the top left corner of your mat. And you might choose to grab hold of that right wrist and give it a gentle tug. And then once you're here, notice if you might have a little extra space now in the side body. Does it feel good to take the right foot, stack it on top of the left, and come just a little deeper into that shape? Take one more breath. If your foot is stacked, go ahead and release it. If you're holding your wrist, go ahead and release it. Slide your hands down, slide your feet in, pull your hips back to center, pause for a moment and notice. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that all to the other side. So push into your feet, shift your hips over to the left, walk your feet down to the right corner of your mat, reach your hands up to the top right corner of your mat, and then take a moment to notice. If it feels like you have a little extra space now, and it might feel nice to stack your left foot on top of the right, crisscrossed at the ankle, and maybe you grab hold of that left wrist and gently pull it towards the corner of your mat. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, if you're holding onto the wrist, release. If your foot is stacked, release it. Slide your feet in, shift your hips back to center, bring your hands down alongside your hips, and we're going to come back to a hip bridge, but we're going to hold it. So walk your heels in a little closer to your butt, feet about hip width distance apart, hands alongside your hips. Push into your feet, push into the backs of your arms, lift your hips up nice and high, get that nice little squeeze in your glutes and that lift up sensation in the hamstrings. You might feel the backs of your legs fired up, you might feel your glutes, and then a little tiny lift in the chest. See if you can snuggle your shoulder blades under just a little bit. And then we want to find a little energetic reach. So imagine you're reaching your knees towards your toes. So we get that little length through the front of the thighs, through the front of the hips, that little extra squeeze in the glutes. Take one more moment here. And then think hip hinge. We're going to release that nice long spine. Hips are going to come down to the ground. Once you're there, pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. A gentle rock side to side. And then if it feels good, you're going to take those knees and draw them in circles, go in one direction. Awesome. And then draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, set your feet down, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Take a few gentle windshield wipers just to bring some soothing back into the hips, a little fluid movement. Notice how your low back feels. And as you find this gentler movement here, ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. If you're in a cold place or if it's chilly where you are today, take a second to throw your socks on or your sweater or get your blanket. And then once you feel ready, start to find your way to your Shavasana. So you might choose constructive rest to support the low back. You might choose Supta Baddha Konasana, or that reclined cobbler's pose with the knees out to the left and to the right, and prefer that you tuck a little something under so it's a nice supported position so you can relax into it. Or you might choose to just walk your feet nice and long and find that more traditional shape, or roll onto your side or flip onto your belly, whatever feels good. Once you've found your way into a comfortable position, just give your body a moment to find its way there. Maybe close your eyes down or soften your gaze. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Take a nice gentle breath and just become aware of the solidness of the floor beneath you. And then if it feels good to do so, gently wiggle the fingers, gently wiggle the toes. If your legs are out nice and long, or if you're in that Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined cobbler's pose position, slide your feet in. Think about coming into that hip bridge preparatory position. So feet about hip width distance apart, knees nice and bent, feet solid on the ground. And then once you've got your way there, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then we're going to finish with 3 humming breaths. So you're going to take a nice full inhalation. And then as you exhale, you're just going to let it out with a nice low hum. So take your nice full breath. Exhale and hum. Inhale a nice full breath. Exhale a nice low hum. One more time. Inhale a nice full breath. Exhale a nice low hum. And then when you're ready, release your hands, reach your arms up and overhead, step your feet out nice and long. Take a big good morning stretch, reach through the fingers, reach through the toes, take a nice big breath back into your body. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side, whatever feels good. And then as you come back to that comfortable seat, just take a second, get yourself all situated so everything feels good. And then line yourself up. So your head, your heart, your hips are in line. So if it feels like your head or your heart is leaning slightly forward, bring it all back, draw your shoulders down. We're going to flip the palms, palms open facing the sky. And then just tune in and notice. Notice the skin on your palms. the warmth or the coolness of the air on your skin. And then on your next inhalation, gather your hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra and bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take another nice full inhale and think about letting your shoulders lift, maybe even scrunch up your eyebrows just a little bit. And then as you exhale, let your shoulders soften, soften your eyes, and think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday.